lifelong badass as we explore conversations with unique, interesting, and extraordinarily fierce women who found Squeezin lemons and Sportin rose-colored glasses as a way to survive, overcome, and thrive through all of life's challenges. Badass women and those in training. May we know them, may we be them, may we raise them. Are you a badass or are you in training? Tune in and let's talk. Today, we are squeezing lemons and sporting rose-colored glasses with our guest, Kathy Draper. Kathy is a transformational fitness trainer who personally lost over 100 pounds and a speaking coach in the global Toastmasters arena. She is well-versed in lemons and adversity. Choosing to maneuver through life with a positive attitude is one of her best characteristics, second only to her great sense of humor. I have been friends with her for many years, and I'm excited for you to get to know her too. Let's learn how this extraordinary entrepreneur is forging her path globally. Kathy, I am so thrilled to share you with the world today. Let's have some fun and share how you got here and where you're going.
Well, thank you for inviting me.
Absolutely. Would you like to share a little bit about what that means, a transformational trainer and a speaking coach?
Well, as a transformational trainer, part of my background is I've lost 100 pounds and kept it off for 25 years. After that, I shifted from being in IT, and I've spent the last 16 years helping other people with weight loss, working on their mindset, and also nutrition, because all of those things are important. It's like having a little tripod and breaking off one of them, your chair is going to fall over. So I consider it transformational because we need to work at all those points. Everybody who is struggling, a lot of it's the mindset, because we've struggled so much, and I try to show people how to stop struggling and find a long-term solution. And speaking coach is one of my newer ventures. With COVID, I started digging into a long-time dream that I had of becoming a motivational speaker. But along the way, I also learned that I kind of have a gift for helping other people. I started in Toastmasters as wanting to learn how to become a better speaker myself, but I've loved watching other people grow, and I'm working to help people use that both personally and professionally.
So are you a badass woman or are you in training?
I would say I am a badass woman. I have had some awesome training, but aren't we always, if we're open to education, aren't we always in training? We can be badass, but we can take the training wheels off, but we should always be working on education and improving ourselves at all times.
I agree totally. And I think integrity and loyalty and a positive attitude also go with all of that and help. That's part of why we help other people.
Definitely.
Well, I'm so thrilled to share you with the world. So let's have some fun. Direct sales, or the multi-level business model, has always been a favorite of mine because we can reach so many other people. And my niche is helping women. I love helping people in general, but I exceptionally love helping women become entrepreneurs, building a business and achieving something that they want, whether it be just a little bit of income to make, a vacation possible, or buy dance shoes or those kind of things, or a six-figure income. I want to help them wherever they're at and for whatever they want. Tell a little bit about some of the other endeavors that you have that are incorporated in your umbrella of Kathy Draper.
Actually, probably one direct sales that I'm most involved in right now is a company called Epicure. And the beauty of Epicure is I've noticed, because before I started working as a personal trainer, I actually worked for a well-known weight loss company. And the one thing that I've seen that is challenging for a lot of people is what we put in our mouth. And when I talk about the tripod, but really the challenge at the core of it is going to be nutrition. I know that's one of the harder things. And with Epicure, we've got so many people that are having digestive issues. There's so many kids and adults with allergies. And the beauty of Epicure is it has foods that taste great, they're easy to make, and they're nut-free except for coconut. They're gluten-free, and almost all of the products are vegetarian, or vegetarian friendly, where you can adapt. Like, say you can't do dairy, you could switch over to like almond or a nut milk, things like that. So it makes it a possibility to have all these foods that you loved, and it's much more variety than what you'd find in the store, and you can have it sent directly to you. I do some meal prep classes on that but I also have like a Facebook family where I share recipes on a regular basis. It just helps people have ideas, and it makes it easy. They actually have a box that comes out called an Epic Box each month that you can do a subscription. So try different things. But it takes a lot of the junk that's in a lot of our food and removes it and gives us healthier options. And because food is the thing that we have to, whether you're trying to lose weight, gain weight, maintain, that's probably the more challenging of all of the things. I could work out till the cows come home, but I got to plan out those meals and make sure it's healthy for myself and my husband.
Absolutely. And having those highlights that you mentioned are very vital, especially to a lot of people right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think a lot of people know about Epicure.
They expanded from Canada down into the US. And so they're growing on a regular basis. And they do have different items that come out for different seasons. So it makes it nice to be able to change up. But they have classics like meatloaf and mac and cheese, and you can make them dairy free, but almost all of them are gluten free, which is really helpful to a lot of people who are finding out that a lot of times that digestive issue they're having, they might have Crohn's or celiac. It seems to be growing over time because of the things that are in our food. And they have a whole huge list that I can't go over of the things that they will never know. There's no artificial sweeteners, no artificial coloring, all of that thing. And that's really helpful for other things like ADD. And, with kids, a lot of those food colorings and stuff can really trigger ADD and other behavior disorders if you're having
Absolutely.
that. It makes it easier for my clients and even people that aren't my clients to be able to have things just sent to their door and have the opportunity to try things out. And a couple of times a year, they actually have an Epic Life Challenge that a group can get together, and they have lots of prizes and stuff that they can earn. So you get a group of people together on a healthy journey. So I like that community effort.
For people like myself who've dealt with cancer, I personally don't want anything with added sugar in it. I just don't.
Yes.
And so, and the other additives in food, I don't want it. I want as clean as I can get, but I don't want to eat just fruits and veggies either.
It does have sugar in it. It will be organic cane sugar, but they're very sodium and sugar conscious, but the foods are still delicious. I do not like turkey bacon, and I'm very much a purist when it comes to bacon. But they have a bacon bit that is actually made from, I know it sounds weird, but it's made of pinto beans. I will not eat turkey bacon, but we have something called CCB, which is cheese, chives, and bacon. And you would never know that the bacon that's in it is actually made from pinto beans. And it is delicious. Just an unusual thing. Just one thing that I use on a regular basis when I'm making mashed potatoes, when I'm making omelets, but it tastes amazing. And you wouldn't know it's not bacon. We've got spreads, dressings, meal preparation things, taco, chili seasoning, all the basics you need, plus meal solutions. The Alfredo sauce is amazing, and it can be used with any kind of milk you want. And it's delicious.
Can you share a defining moment when you decided that indeed that you wanted to be a speaking coach? When did that light go on you when you said speaking coach?
I have been in a group called Stage Time University. In Toastmasters, they have a program that you can actually ask for feedback from other people. So I made it my mission to help as many people as possible, because I figure if I'm going to get feedback, I want to make sure nobody goes without feedback. Well, I actually won an award 2 years in a row. I've gotten their Phenomenal Feedback Award, Member of the Year this year too. But the defining moment of that is that I was helping people competing in the Toastmasters World Championship, or some of them are professional speakers working on their TEDx talks. I went to the international conference last year, and one of the young ladies that was going in to compete, she was in the top 8 in the world. Right before she went on stage, she gave me a big hug and told me how much she appreciated the feedback that I had given her. And another gentleman who's also a competitor told me the same thing. That's when I realized that the light bulb went on. And that speech that she gave that day was one of the speeches that I had given her feedback on. And that's when it dawned on me that this is something that it looks like I'm a gift for. And I love helping people. I joined Toastmasters to improve my speaking, but it's amazing to watch people grow. I have a young lady in my Wichita downtown club, and her very first day she came in, she was so nervous. She'd been in Toastmasters. She'd taken speaking classes in college, but she was so nervous when she came in. She was trembling and she was about to cry. I was up there with her because I'm the president right now. I start and close the meeting, and I had asked her to come up and just introduce herself and say how she found us. And after she said that, I asked her if it was okay to give her a hug. She said yes, and I gave her a hug. She came up and did impromptu speaking when we invited her to. She didn't have to, but 3 weeks later, she got up and did her icebreaker. And I spoke about it at a conference, and I didn't mention her name specifically, but I was in tears because I just seen how people's lives can change when they get more comfortable and more confident. And, I believe whether it's for your personal needs, for your business, for your work, that being able to speak comfortably, even if you're an introvert, there are ways that you can become more comfortable. That day was the day I realized I can be good at this and I'll be able to help people. I want to help people that English is their second language because I'm exposed to that in some of my other clubs, and they're very nervous. And I've even had that experience with personal training. People that are learning English as a second language are very timid because they're afraid that they're going to be judged. And I want them to know they're not being judged, and I applaud them, and I love seeing them working hard to improve, and I want to be that person to be able to help them.
A lot of times they're worried about they'll say something because our language is so difficult. They're worried that they will say something and it'll come out to be the wrong way.
I completely admire anybody trying to learn English, because I look at it, even being a native speaker, and I can't imagine how hard because it is a melting pot of a lot of other languages too. I can't imagine how challenging it is when you are trying to learn it. And I did find an interesting tip that your listeners might find interesting. One of the reasons why so many people in India learn English is because within their country, their language in the different parts of their country is so different that it's easier for them to all learn English to be able to communicate with each other, because their dialects and languages are so different in the different parts of the country. I found that fascinating. One of the gentlemen that I work with, he's my mentee in Toastmasters. He's in Ireland, but he's originally from India. And just watching him grow is amazing how much he's improving over time. Because he needs
it's fun to watch.
Yeah.
I love watching women start a business that, they're just hesitant and worried about the risk. Should I do this? Should I not? And watch them flourish and thrive. It's so much fun to watch them jump out of their comfort zone.
And it's also challenging because there's other little levels too, because it's not just the woman, it's her whole family, because the woman's also, how is their partner supporting them? Because that can be a challenge.
It's not just them when it comes into a business.
Yeah.
It's a very different dynamic. That's why I think women entrepreneurs is my niche. So I'm gonna do some rapid fire questions with you. So have you ever broken through social barriers or stereotypes to achieve a goal?
I'd say yes. As a person who has lost 100 pounds, I'm still a little fluffy to be a trainer. But here's the thing. Once my clients get to know me and love me, but sometimes I get judged on A, my age, and B, my weight. But I can keep up with the rest of them, and they know that I know my stuff. And that's the important thing to helping people is, do I know my stuff? And, but I find that sometimes to be a barrier. As a woman, as a personal trainer, it can also be challenging because men do not want to work with you because you're a woman as a client. But I've had some great male clients along the way. Most of my clients have been women over 40, but that's one of the reasons why I went independent, is because then I deal with the client one-on-one. They know me in advance, who I am and where I come from.
Share an example of a time that you had to navigate a difficult setback and how you overcame it.
When COVID happened, I was working at a local gym, and all the gyms got shut down, and I got let go from that gym, and I started training people in their home instead of going to the gym, because you can do a lot of things at home. I have some equipment I bring with me. You can do a lot of things at home. So I just shifted. We didn't have to wait until the gyms all opened up.
What advice would you give a young woman who's aspiring to be as fearless and as impactful as you?
Don't give up on yourself, and look at the silver lining. What can I do? But in life, things are going to happen, and it's how you decide to handle it is up to you. But if you're having trouble figuring out how to do a pivot or change, and and not know whether it's the time to make that shift, ask some friends. Find a group like the Badass Women and start talking to other people and ask them for their input. You don't have to try to figure it out all by yourself. One of the things I've learned is by just asking for help, asking for ideas, but know that there's people out there that sincerely want to help you. But you have to ask. If you don't tell somebody, nobody knows what you need help with. But if you don't ask somebody for help, you're not allowing them to give you that gift. Because if you want to help somebody else out, there's somebody else that wants to help you too. So allow them to give you that gift.
That's where you take your lemons and you put on your rose-colored glasses and you push forward. So how do you maintain a positive mindset and overcome self-doubt and imposter syndrome?
That is another reason why you need a group in your life, like the Badass Women. You have to make sure it's a group that is a positive group, because sometimes those groups can get pulled down. You want to make sure that the people that are around you are also positive. Everybody has a bad day. Everybody has those lemons that you want to hit, but you got to have the people to remind you that those lemons can be used for lemonade. But you've got to surround yourself with positive people. If you are around people that have a tendency to pull you down all the time, be aware of that. Limit your time with them. It's been very rare that I've not been able to find the silver lining. It doesn't make everything beautiful, but there is always a silver lining or a lesson that we can learn, even from failures. Because if you look around at the success stories of some of the most amazing business people, you will see that every one of them have had a failure after failure. I used to work for Ross Perot. And when Ross Perot came up with the original idea for his business to outsource computer services, he went to the company that he worked for, IBM, and said, "Hey, I think this is a great idea. Why don't we do that?" They said no. He borrowed $1,000 from his wife, started EDS, and became a billionaire. But somebody told him no. Just like you look at so many other entrepreneurs, things didn't work out for everybody the first time around. Just keep going. You got to keep pushing. Ask your friends, find your cheerleaders in your life, and that's what you do to keep going. But find the positive people in your life.
That's right. Find those who make you laugh. So can you share a moment when you felt most proud of yourself and your achievements? I can think of several just in this last month.
Oh my gosh, it's hard to pick just one. And that's a good problem to have. Okay, this is a little off of what we've said, but I have had a lifelong fear of being a leader. And the reason why is because I've had some really, really bad managers and people that I had hoped to look up to. We'll put it that way. So I have avoided leadership like the plague my whole life. But then when I joined Toastmasters about 2 years ago, I was nominated and elected to be the president of the club, and that terrified me. Wednesday, I'll be handing off my role to a new person. But I'm also super proud that my club is thriving. It's one of the top clubs in the whole district, which is most of Kansas and part of Missouri. And it's thriving. We're getting guests like crazy. And that was under my leadership. But part of it is I got to choose that I could be a leader like the people I'd seen in the past, or be the leader that I needed. And that is, I think, all of us women can set the great example. Who you can be the leader you need that the world needs, not the leader that is just trying to make the numbers, but to help the people, because I think a true leader empowers other people to make them great, and that makes them look great by helping other people be great. And I think that's a shift. So it's not really an award or anything like that, but I was terrified, but now I'm embracing And I'm going to be an area director and a club coach upcoming. So I'm starting to go into district leadership. Before, I would have said no way. But now I'm embracing it and even working on a keynote speech on it, because I'm sure there's other people that have gone through what I have and avoided it. But you can, depending on your environment, you can be the person that can set the example that you needed in the past. And so for that's a big thing for me. I was really, really afraid of leading. And I'm also learning how to toot my own horn, because, if you want your business to grow, you have to tell people you're awesome until they get it.
Really believe it. So you want to leave in a little gold nugget or a takeaway for everybody?
One of my favorite quotes is, be the change you'd like to see in the world. And whether it's been my weight loss journey to become a trainer, and now as I'm venturing on to be a speaker, I want to be that person. My goal is to try to help improve other people's lives. And I think when you have a mission like that, your hope is to find the people that need what you have. And I'm hoping to help people with their businesses, and also people that are English is not their native language, because those are two groups that I've seen that could really use a little help, something that could help people with their businesses and just build their confidence. Each of us can try to help each other, and we can each make a difference. That butterfly effect.
That's right. I always have the motto of making a difference one connection at a time. And with the podcast, it's one episode at a time. I've tried to always be a difference maker. So that's a wrap for today. I want to thank you, Kathy, for joining us. Thanks for joining me today for a little fun. It's all about squeezing lemons and sporting rose-colored glasses on all kinds of topics for all of my fabulous, fearless friends. That's it for today. So until our next conversation, this is Vicki Nevins, your host of Badass Women and Those in Training. Real conversations with extraordinarily fierce women and so much more. Thank you for watching. In addition to all of the podcast hosts, you can also find us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. To catch all of our upcoming episodes, remember to like, follow, and subscribe. Bye now.